Last week on POPSTARS, Jessica found how easy it is to slip up in front of the press.
If you'd said that at a real press conference, you would be on the front page of it tomorrow.
The judges had to make some tough decisions.
I think he'd be better selling me a used car, and that I do not want in the band.
And the final 10 are told they've made it.
Can you congratulate yourselves on being the final 10?
From over 2,000 applications nationwide, the judges have narrowed their search down to 10 talented hopefuls. But with only 5 places in the band, they still have the toughest decision to make. At Nigel's LWT headquarters in the heart of London, the 3 judges meet for the final deliberation. The decision made in this office is going to change 5 people's lives forever. For those chosen, it will mean a genuine chance of pop stardom and overnight fame. For the not so lucky, it's back to the endless round of auditions and dreaming of what might have been. First on the agenda is Kimberly.
Kimberly.
Well, we liked her from day one up in Manchester.
I'm Kim, I'm from Wigan, and us Wiganers, you know what I mean, down the pier.
Very strong, deep voice.
Very, yeah.
If you wanna be with me, baby, there's a price to pay. I'm a genie in a bottle. You gotta rub me the right way.
People always say to me, why don't you get a proper job? I mean, what's a proper job? I just love singing, and that's what I want to do. So that's all I've done since I left school. And I've done lots of things. I've had a lot of experience, but I've always just nearly done it, and I've always been nearly there. And I've never been given the chance to do, you know, to say, well, I can do this.
For me, she's a great all-rounder. Look, voice and character.
It's not just Kim's voice that's impressed the judges. Her sense of humour has made her one of the favourites amongst the hopefuls.
This is why I want to be a pop star. Check you out.
What time is it when there's a pie on top of the clock tower in Wigan? Something to eat.
She's great company. Great company.
Very entertaining.
Yeah.
It's been a lot tougher than I imagined it would be, simply because, you know, of the fact that it is so hard to say goodbye to people, and it is so hard to compete against people who you've grown to be so attached to, and it is, you know, you do have to realise that you are competing against each other.
Let's take a look at young Danny.
Yeah, look at that photo.
Danny boy.
She's into superstition, black cats and voodoo dolls. I feel...
Danny realised he had a talent for singing when he was spotted doing karaoke in Tenerife. Back home in London, he decided to make singing a career. His biggest moment so far was performing on Barrymore's My Kind of Music.
I can remember planning, building my world around you, and I can remember hoping that you and I can make it on through. I'll never, no, no, never love again.
He's got such star quality, and the thing I like about him is there's so much humility there. He has got a talent, but he's not the most forceful of all the 10.
We're so surprised that he's got this far, doesn't believe it and doesn't think he's worthwhile.
No, absolutely.
I, personally, this sounds really pessimistic, I don't think that I will be in the band.
I'm slightly worried about his harmonies.
It takes me ages to learn harmonies. Like, this is like coming to this audition is the first time I've ever done like harmonies. I'm used to singing on my own, and it's harmony group, so it's a good experience. I'm sailing right I thought I heard. I'm sailing right behind. I'm pleased with myself because
I'm working on it, do you know what I mean? I'm not just sitting back and saying, I can't do it. I'm trying.
He looks like a lad. He walks in a room with his skin and you think, God, he's just going to start a fight or something. So he's got that great edge to him.
Until that big grin comes on his face, and then he looks like a teddy bear.
And he smiles, which is fabulous.
Let's move on to Suzanne.
Suzanne.
Our only blonde.
Hi, I'm Suzanne. And I'm Casey. Hello. And we're all a bunch of madheads.
Vocally, didn't have confidence with the top notes. Quite a quiet voice. We had to really push her forward.
Reach for the stars, climb every mountain high and reach for the stars.
I really lost it on that first song. It was like, squeaky there. And I was like, oh, God. I think it's because everybody's watching you and everybody's sort of sitting there judging yourselves. And it's like, oh, you know, what are people thinking?
When I first saw Suzanne, I thought, this is the extreme of stage school. They're all singing, all dancing, big wide teeth, you know, that pushes them too far sometimes.
Yeah.
And then she started to calm that down, especially with the harmonies. She started to get to know, I've got to fit myself into this position.
Suzanne listened to the judges' advice and took every opportunity to work on her harmonies.
Ask you to come back tomorrow.
Oh, God, thank you so much.
The hard work paid off for Suzanne, and she made it into the final 10.
Jessica.
Now, Jessica's had a bit of a yo-yo ride with us, hasn't she?
If you had my love and I gave you all my trust, would you lie to me and call me baby?
I didn't notice her in Birmingham.
I didn't either.
Yellow top, I liked her.
I love singing and I love the feeling when I get up in front of people and do it.
She's got a great personality. She's very bright girl.
Very honest.
Very honest. Too honest, but that was okay.
The only problem with stories in the tabloids is where people deny things, then they suddenly grab onto it and they're like, right, let's find something, let's dig a bit deeper. Well, I'm not going to let them do that because I will just be honest from the outset.
Have any of you taken drugs?
Yes. I have smoked cannabis as well.
Jessica, you're a role model to hundreds
Yes.
and hundreds of teenage kids who are looking to use certain examples.
Does that mean you had a habit?
When was the last time you took drugs?
Do you think drugs should be banned?
Where did you get it from?
How long ago?
Her emotional yo-yo ride was just about to take a turn for the better.
Yeah, okay, Jessica. How's it gone for you today?
I felt like I made a fool out of myself, really. After that, I've been myself and I've still tripped myself up because that's all I've ever been, is honest.
Put that into practice tomorrow when you come back to see us. Very sexy looking.
Very.
And which is just magnetic. When she was doing the routines with the other four, no matter what I thought about the other voices, I was drawn to look at Jessie.
At this stage, everybody is good enough to be in this band, and we have to face that. You know, most of us have to go. There's only 5 that can stay.
So let's move on to Kevin.
What a jawline.
Good-looking lad, very strong voice.
Yeah.
Never screwed up a harmony, ever.
Yeah.
When he did, he stopped.
That's right.
Picked it back up again on the right note and
I know.
And when we asked them to perform at the end, it's after we'd got down to the final 10, so most of them have been very upset, emotional, tearful, saying goodbye to friends. So it's difficult for them to get it together, whereas he was very focused.
You know, when people are hysterical because someone's gone out, it's pathetic. I'm no hard man, but I just feel that some people have been a bit over the top about people going out and getting a bit upset about it.
Has done boy bands, I don't know how much work, but he's been in a boy band in Blackpool.
Yeah.
You got the kind of loving that can be so smooth. Give me your heart, make it real, or else forget about it.
With his hair gelled very much the boy
I'm
band
not sure about
look.
that spiky hair. I mean, I think if we take him, we'll have to restyle him.
Yeah. Tonight, Matthew, I'm going to be Simon Fowler for Motion Colour Scene.
Simon Fowler!
As well as performing in pubs and clubs with a boy band, Kevin has also performed on Stars in Their Eyes.
You know, I did Stars in Their Eyes, and I thought, like, when I did Stars in Their Eyes, I thought, right, I'm going to be a big star now. You know, I used it as an opportunity to get on TV and get seen. And sadly, you know, nothing really came of it. So I was devastated, and then I've done a couple of other things since. But I'm just completely not happy with my career staying in pubs and clubs. So at the end of the day, you know, it's completely serious to me because I want a Ferrari, I want a big house, I want loads of money.
Coming up in part 2, the judges continue to weigh up the positives.
And she looks like a model.
And negatives of the last 5.
Every audition we did, she was late or she was ill for. She always did less than everybody else because she had to leave early.
And finally, the band is chosen.
There's our band.
Here's our band.
Jansberry! No, man, there's too much hiss on that one.
Wake up!
For the latest showbiz stories, TV listings and local What's On guide, log on right now to icshowbiz.com.
I just love cars. Take this baby. Alloys, aircon, top-of-the-range stereo, fully loaded. Or this. It's got to be worth at least 30k. No good to me, though. Out of my range, if you know what I mean. Now, this is my sort of car. No alarm, no immobiliser, no steering wheel lock. No problem.
Make your car more secure. Don't give them an easy ride.
$9,000 products.
Whatever you want, whatever you like, whatever you say, you pay your money, you take your choice.
Argos, brighter prices, brighter shopping. New catalogue out now.
At Asda, we've got so many permanently low prices, we're bursting. There's everything you could want. Right Guard deodorant for only £1.28. Only £9 for men's jeans by George. And packs of 10 Asda crisps for less than £1. So with over 40,000 permanently low prices, you can be sure all your shopping is bursting with low prices. That's Asda price.
Cadbury's Toppers is a hot chocolate drink with a little extra something. Cadbury's Toppers. Delicious hot chocolate with crunchy whisper or marshmallow toppings.
I see you're flying with us.
You can't drink it seriously.
Nothing is softer than your baby's bottom, or gentler for cleaning it than Johnson's Baby Skincare Wipes. They're so gentle you can even use them on these cheeks too, because they've got Johnson's unique No More Tears lotion. And now, buy one pack, get one free, only at Tesco.
Egg Card now gives you 0% APR for the first 6 months on all new purchases, so there has never been a better time to go to bed with Egg. Apply at egg.com. You sexy thing. Come on, you know where to find us. Oh.
Introducing new Pantene Pro V, now in 5 specialized care collections. In just 7 days, one will transform your hair into bouncier curls, fuller volume, or a smoother, sleeker look. New Pantene Pro V, for the healthy look you want.
fun to dance.
The hottest Latin superstar is under the celebrity spotlight.
There's so many questions I'd like to ask you.
Live an evening of La Vida Loca with a star-studded audience with Ricky Martin. Next Saturday on ITV.
This is the kind of one, brother.
3 minutes less.
The judges are halfway through making their decision. In 15 minutes, they will have chosen who will be in the band.
Great eyes Noel's got.
Awful photograph. He looks drunk.
Terrible photograph.
I'm here today. Want to be a pop star because I'm fed up of being skint.
Well, I hear you whispering the words that melt everyone, but you stay so cool, yeah, yeah.
I don't think his voice has got the character of Danny's or, for instance, Kevin's.
He has the confidence with the high notes, though, doesn't he? He doesn't struggle at all.
He goes when he gets them as well.
I would change my life to better suit your mood, yeah, because you're so smooth.
Great humour, though.
Yeah.
I understand he actually did an impression of me at one point.
Did he? What did he do?
I don't know. No one will tell me.
Really?
That was horrible to somebody.
Who was he? He was doing some impressions the other night. He's funny. Who was he doing?
He did Darius.
My newfound friends. Collectively, I admire you. Individually, I adore you.
Whoever the five are, they're in this room. God bless, you're going to go forward, you're going to be stars.
I'll miss you all. Love, light, and eternal happiness. Darius. There's a fine line between confidence and arrogance, and I don't want to cross that line because at the end of it, you still have to go home and you still have to see your family, your friends who will watch this on the telly and go, what were you doing? You know?
My only fear with him is he might be too sensitive. What experiences have you had with bands when, you know, they can't contact their parents every 5 minutes?
It is difficult because if you've never done your washing, you've never done your own shopping, etc., those things become annoying. But it's when you can't turn around and ask your mum or your dad or your best friends for advice. That's the hardest thing.
I'm ringing Mum again. I'm staying. I got through. I'm in the last 10. I've got a very good relationship with my mum, and she's like a nutter, absolute nutter. And I wouldn't, if I didn't get through, I wouldn't be just disappointed for me. I'd be disappointed for her as well because it means a lot to her. Yeah, I'm fine. Yeah, I'm fine.
But he really wants it, no?
Paul, which one of the 10 would you pull out and say they don't want it?
Well, I don't want to be in this band so much because I've come this far and it's been bloody hard, so they better just let me in.
Let's bring out Kelly.
I study at Italia Conti. It's a stage school. I'm not supposed to be here because my agent doesn't know, and when she watches this, she's going to absolutely kill me. Show me how you want it to be.
Very, very scary. The heart's just going. And you don't really know where to look. You're not supposed to look in the camera, but you're everywhere. I'm a big mess now. But thanks, crossed.
Hit me, baby, one more time.
And she looks like a model.
Yeah, she does.
Dances brilliantly and sings really well.
Yeah, she has got a fantastic voice.
I'm on your side.
Yesterday, my note was that I didn't smile enough. So today, I thought I'd sing a really cheesy 80s pop song. I'm going to sing I Want to Dance with Somebody by Whitney. So I could give it lots of cheese. I want to dance with somebody. I want to feel the heat with somebody. Yeah, I want to dance with somebody. With somebody who loves me. I think over the past couple of days, I've sort of come out of my shell a bit. But I don't know whether they would have seen that. Because a lot of the time, it's just been in the group and not when they're watching and not when the cameras are rolling. So I don't know if they'd have seen seen my personality shine or not. If I was on the panel, I just wouldn't have a clue who to pick. I just would not know.
So, Kelly, I think, has got everything going for her.
Yeah, real
true,
strong contender.
So let's move on to Michelle.
Michelle had a tough act to follow at her first audition.
Na 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 vida loca. Na 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 vida loca. La 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 vida.
Michelle, are you going to rip your top off?
I was thinking... She's a dancer by trade, isn't she? And I really don't think she appreciates how good her voice is.
Every night in my dreams, I see you, I feel you. The closest I've been to fame is being Nelly and Girl Thing that are out now. I got through to the last 12 girls out of so many thousand that had auditioned for the group. So here I am now, trying for the next big thing. Hopefully I'm going to get through, see what happens. You have come to show you, go on.
Really improved in look for me when she had her hair curly.
Yeah, I liked her hair curly too.
See you tomorrow, well done.
Thank you very much. Thank you.
And your hair looks great, curly.
Are you sure?
Yes, we like it.
Wear it down tomorrow. Honestly, it looks so lovely.
I think she's got a strong voice and a strong personality.
Great personality, a lot of fun.
I'm myself, I am me. A very loud, very girly, very happy person. The way you feel, yeah, it just don't feel right.
Young Tony from Galway.
The dancer.
I think they're putting us through the most grueling process imaginable to see how we come out the other side, if we come out the other side. And therefore, anything from here on, we can cope with.
You gotta fight for every dream.
Good-looking lad.
Good looking and a good performer. Just watching it back,
Yeah.
you know, he really does perform. He gives a lot more than a lot of them. He has got a great voice, but it could be a lot better. And it needs training and it needs work, and that's what worries me, because it does stand out.
If we decide to take him, then we've got to put that work into it.
Yeah, quickly.
If it happens for me, it happens. If not, I'll go home, sleep for 3 days. I'll be disappointed, you know. I'd like to see a pop star when I look in the mirror, not just me, but 3 days' time, I'll turn the radio on again, hear Van Morrison, and I'll be at the next audition.
Our final girl, Mylene. What I like about Mylene is she can also play the piano, the harp, the violin.
Yeah, she was fantastic on the piano, wasn't she, on the Friday when we all walked in?
Great.
Do I feel I've got an edge because I studied music? I've got a good understanding of music, but so have a lot of people, really.
Also, I really, really like her voice. When she sings, there's sort of a gravelly graininess that appears when she sang that Tina Turner track. She's
Oh, you come to me, give me everything I need. You're simply the best.
I've done backing vocals for tracks from like Michael Ball, things like that. Gosh, the most recent thing I did was last week, and that was with Katie Lang.
I believe that the heart does go on.
You just got to do it all, really. That's how you sort of survive.
She didn't come across as a team player. I know I was quite vocal about my concerns on her. Every audition we did, she was late or she was ill for. She always did less than everybody else because she had to leave early.
I came 2.5 days late, actually, to be exact. But they managed to squeeze me in, and it was all right, thank goodness.
And that's always worrying at the beginning
She
of the
was
project.
very reticent to even communicate with the cameras, the DVs that were around there. And all of the feedback I got all the time was that she was very moody.
Can I go now? Oh, excuse me. Leave me alone.
Now, what I saw in the latter stages of last week was that she was communicating well and she was playing the game.
Yeah. Yeah, she got on well with the girls, especially.
Very.
Despite the judges' reservations over Mylene as a team player, she's the one who looked after Sarah when she hit her nose at the London auditions.
It is a case of you just have to bear it out now, and everyone's just dying to know. That's the hard bit, the not knowing. You do wonder why you put yourself through it, but hopefully it's all worth it in the end.
Can we have group number 1, please?
Over the course of 2 months, the judges have travelled the length and breadth of the nation, auditioning and rejecting 2,000 of the best young performers in the country.
I won't go breaking your heart.
Loneliness is killing me.
Rich pop star.
You're flying without a wing.
And of course, the worst.
Down the waterfall. Go on. Smile on your feet. Like a bullet to your brain. Come on.
They've had to break a lot of hearts on the way.
Sorry, Mum.
Can I take a hint?
I made a total mess of it. I even forgot the first line.
But now it's crunch time. Which 5 will they pick to be in the band?
Paul, Nikki.
Nigel.
There's our band.
Here's our band.
To find out who the lucky 5 are.
That's ominous.
Watch the revelation tonight in just 2 hours, where all the hopefuls get the news, good or bad. POPSTARS at 9:15.
I just wish you would have told me over the phone, so I would have gone, oh, OK, thanks, bye.
I'm ready for you. Come on, let's have you. I'm ready for you now.
Oh, yeah, of course, image is really important to us. I mean, personally, I'll have a new image because it's clean, it's modern, and it's, well, sexy, isn't it?
Gonna be massive.
TNT, sponsors of POPSTARS.
Previously on POPSTARS, 3 judges set out to find 5 talented people to put together as a new pop group. They saw over 2,000 performers. Some great, some less so.
The smile on your face lets me know that you love me.
Through an intensive audition period, they've narrowed them down to 10. The 3 judges are Nigel Lithgow, Paul Adam, and Nikki Chapman. They've now decided exactly who will be in the final band. All that remains for them to do is break the news.
There's our band.
Here's our band.
Of the 10 contenders left, 5 will be told they're in the band. For the other 5, there's bad news. The judges thought that the best way to tell everybody was to visit them at home and let them know in person. For the 10 contenders, there's a nail-biting wait for the doorbell to ring. It's Saturday morning at the London studios, and filming's due to start for Pop Show CD UK. Westlife are posing for fans' photos, and as manager of Billy Piper, Judge Nikki Chapman is hard at work.
Would it go down better with live audience? It would go down better just because we're only doing 3 numbers and I think they have to do a bit more up.
Meanwhile, in reception, Kevin's got a nervous wait.
Right.
As soon as Nikki's finished with Billy, she'll be telling Kevin whether he's in the band or not. Kevin will be the very first of the 10 to find out. He's only being told ahead of the others because he's off on holiday. After an hour, Nikki's finally ready to see him.
Hi, Kevin. How are you?
All right, not so bad.
Thanks for waiting. Come have a seat.
Thank you. Thanks for having me on this day. Cheers.
How are you feeling?
Oh, God. Absolutely petrified.
It is very difficult for the 3 judges because the final 10 that we got down to, you saw yourself the talent, you know, anybody in that 10 could be in the band. We have to get it down to 5. So I am saying that to you that you haven't made the final 5.
Right. Okay.
It was difficult. You didn't do anything wrong. That's the truth. We thought all 10 of you were great.
Yeah.
But what we're looking for is the overall look of a band, the way it works together, the way personalities work together. And we have to be hard and we have to make that final judgment.
Kevin's reaction has left Nikki relieved.
If the other 4 took it that well and were that easy to speak to, it would be great, but I just know it's not going to work that way. He was very honest today, and he knew inside. He said he knew, and that was great for me because it's the first one, and the first one is always the hardest. But I think as we go through the week, we're going to really hit some very disappointed people because they truly believe, you know, they could make it and be fantastic in the final 5.
I pledged to do this for the rest of my life, and if I have to do it, you know, if I want to do it, then of course, I'm only 20, just turned 20, so I feel sort of time's maybe on my side, and I can only get better. I feel I've improved, like, just in this week.
Downstairs, the show's over, and Westlife are leaving from the back of the building. But on the way, they have to sign a few autographs. Meanwhile, Kevin's leaving from the front of the building with far less commotion. He hasn't made it into the band, and his dreams of pop stardom will have to be put on hold, at least for a while. Two days later, the judges set out to go to the homes of the remaining 9 and let them know whether or not they're in the band. Paul's journey starts with a long drive from London to Wigan.
Coming to Kim's place now to deliver some more news. I don't know where we are. Where's 15? 14, 12. To this side.
In Kim's house, the waiting has become unbearable.
The thing is, like, you've done your best and you've got this far, and, you know, we're just happy that you've got this far. And anything else is a bonus, really, isn't it, you know? So...
Proud of you, love, no matter whether you get this or not. So proud. Don't start me off.
I'm just going to cry again now. Behave.
Oh. I'm sorry about that. Just can't help it.
Kim's just moments away from finding out if she's going to be moving to London and recording with Europe's top producers, or continuing as a club singer in Wigan.
I'm so proud of you, Kim. You've done brilliant, love. And we
couldn't do it without you, could I? Come on.
So proud of you.
Hey, how are you, Kim? You okay?
Yeah, not too bad,
Good.
thanks. How are you?
Good. Cold.
Around this way.
How are you feeling?
Terrible.
You nervous?
Sick, yeah.
How have you been the last week?
Just horrible. I can't... Do you know what I mean? Not being able to sleep properly and stuff, and especially last night was the worst.
Obviously, you were down to the last 10, as you know. Got my breath there. And it's very tough for us now because obviously we have to, you know, for everyone's obviously as we discussed before.
Yeah.
Everyone's got such strong voices now and you know, good personalities, and So, I'm afraid you're going to have to move down to London for a few months.
Oh, you're joking.
And join the group.
Oh my God.
Well done.
Oh, God. I can't believe this. I just can't believe I hate you for that.
So I could only do it. Yeah, I wasn't going to do it anyone else, but I couldn't.
Oh my God. I just can't believe it, actually.
In the kitchen, Kim's mum is beginning to think it's a yes.
Cheers. I'm sure she has. She has. Oh, God. Oh, God, I can't believe it. Oh, no. Oh, kid, love. Oh, God, I can't believe it. Oh, lovey, I am so pleased.
Just left Kimberly's house. She's extremely excited, as I am and as she should be. Extremely excited about Kimberly. I think she's got all the attributes that you need to succeed nowadays in the music business, and the voice, the looks, the personality. But I think she's got an extremely strong character, and I think she'll be able to cope with all the pressures that we're going to have to put on over the next few months.
Kim's in the band.
Action, Kimberly.
Her good looks, strong personality, and above all, her distinctive, powerful voice have stood out even when the going got tough.
Once more, you open the door.
See right down my top, can't you? I'm knackered.
It's time you knew I'm not your baby. I belong to me, so don't call me baby.
The weeks of hard work have paid off, and Kim's the first person to make it into the band. The third judge is Nigel, and he's travelled to Gateshead to see Michelle.
If I get in this band, I don't know how I'd feel. I don't think I'd believe it that I got through until I actually packed my things and actually moved out to London. I'll scream and I'll cry. Even if I don't get in, I'll scream and I'll cry. So beware, I will be crying.
Whether or not she gets into the band, Michelle's parents have decided there's still cause for celebration.
Just a little something for getting as far as you did. Whatever the outcome. There's a little drink for later. Well done.
You've got to share that. That's why it's a big bottle. We'll all have some. And you've got a card? Got a little card as well. Okay, well done, Michelle. Okay.
Thank you.
If you do go in, you get nothing more, mate. That's your lot.
That's it, all right,
That's it, I'm afraid, yeah.
After weeks of auditions, the suspense is nearly over for Michelle.
Hi, Michelle. How are you? I'm freezing.
I bet you are. It's cold in the northeast.
Love what you're saying.
You too.
And your hair looks good curly.
Thank you very much.
Good. Hello, how do you do? I'm Nigel. Hi.
My
Pleased to
dad.
meet you. Hi. Pleased to meet you. Where are you going? Listen, I owe you a big thank you for last week.
I enjoyed every minute of it.
Well, we thought you did brilliantly throughout it, which was terrific. Which is obviously why you're in the final 10. But I know you don't want me to beat about the bush, because the judge's decision's important to you. So I won't. I'm afraid you haven't been chosen for the band. And I'm sorry.
Okay.
Give it your best
Mate,
shot.
I thought you would have gotten it. I thought you would have gotten it.
You all right?
Yeah. We're still going to have a glass of champagne to celebrate. Aren't we? She got this far. We're really proud that she got this far anyway. Okay.
It's all right. You've done very well. We're very proud of you.
It was a tough decision. And we looked at everybody. There was not one person that we could have said wasn't right for the band in that last 10. So we weren't looking in the negative side. We were just looking at positives all the time. Was it pick yourself up, dust yourself off, start all over again?
Don't know. Don't think I've got the energy to do it again.
Of course you have.
That was tough. That was really tough. It's okay having this wonderful prize that you're offering these kids, but then to turn around and snatch it out of their grasp, that's tough.
I do feel a bit proud, but to be quite honest with you, at the moment, I've just got it.
Kim's already in the band. Unfortunately, Kevin and Michelle won't be joining her. Coming up in part 2, we discover the fates of Danny, Suzanne, Noel, and Kelly.
It's rock and roll, boys. Get used to it.
If Iceland ruled the world, we'd make sure there are always 2 of the best things. Only one Eiffel Tower? Pah, now that's better. Breathtaking, but there should be 2 of them. The same goes for this week's deals. This Chicago Town pepperoni pizza, buy 1, get 1 free. These Sun Valley chicken breast steaks, buy 1, get 1 free. 4-pack of Carlsberg Export, buy 1, get 1 free. Oh, feel the deal.
Paris, the haute couture, the hunchbacks, a faint whiff of garlic. Especially in there, I shouldn't wonder. But if you're the sort of person who likes a good scrum, I can recommend the Champs-Élysées on a Saturday afternoon, which is why I do all my shopping. Aéroport, s'il vous plaît. Airport, please.
On the internet. Thanks to the internet and Barclaycard, you can shop wherever you want, whenever you want. It's safe and secure, unlike that museum piece. Because with Barclaycard, your goods are protected en route. In fact, the chances are they'll arrive home before you do.
From the writer-director of Jerry Maguire.
I'm a journalist.
Comes a story about life.
Just make us look cool.
Love.
We don't have intercourse with these guys.
And growing up.
Let's deflower the kid.
I am a golden god!
Almost famous.
Shampoo after shampoo, hair colour can fade.
I find the right shampoo. I keep my colour longer.
L'Oreal LV UV Filter Shampoo for coloured hair. Its colour care conditioning formula protects the hair from root to tip.
That's why my colour stays truer, longer.
LV UV Filter Shampoo.
Keep your colour alive. And I'm worth it.
I've just moved banks. Why? Because I want a bank that knows how to connect all my money together. To make it work harder without me having to ask. Someone to come up with clever new ideas. Like overnight sweeping between my current and savings account. So I don't go overdrawn. And I wake up better off every morning. I'm closing my account.
Thank you, Mr. People are starting to change the way they bank. Open plan. Open-minded banking from the Woolwich.
You're either with us or without.
Brighter brands, brighter prices, brighter shopping. Additions, the bright new clothing catalogue, now at Argos.
Jeeves, what's a good fly to catch a rainbow trout on?
A Zugbug is a splendid choice, sir, but I prefer a Mr. Rubberlegs.
Introducing Jeeves, the world's first internet butler. Just type in a question and he'll quickly help you find a web page with the answer.
Jeeves, what are the symptoms of hypothermia? Mental confusion, shivering, and a total loss of feeling in the legs, sir.
Need answers? Ask Jeeves at www.ask.co.uk.
Miss Titley's a real fox.
You need to show her that you're a he-man.
Tonight, I'll be mother.
He-men do not prance about in a musical.
And Gordon's still hunting.
If I was to take a lover, he'd have to be a real red-blooded male.
That's what I'll do. I'll be like the Fonz.
The Grimleys, Monday, 10:20 ITV.
Here we go, into the roll. 5, 6, 7, roll. Not bad.
In Manchester, the pressure is getting to Suzanne.
Oh, God. Oh, no. I'm really nervous. I've never been through this before. Never. I just wish he would have told me over the phone. So I would have gone, oh, OK, thanks, bye. And then could have coped with whatever happens.
It's much better than a telephone call, or it's much better than saying, will you come down to London to see me? And the same for the other judges. We all feel very good about going to them. It's now a personal issue. It's now a professional issue.
The whole family have gathered to give Suzanne moral support.
Your granddad would be proud of you.
I know.
Right next door to a pub can't be bad, can it?
21223.
223.
That's 221A.
223A.
That's it there.
223. Okay.
Shaking. I don't want him to. I don't want to know now. I can do with another week of not knowing than this.
See you later. That's ominous.
Hello, Nigel.
Suzanne, how are you?
I'm not too bad. How are
nice
you?
to see you. Very cold.
I bet you are.
I'm very tired.
Oh, I bet you are too. I've heard about your travels.
Yes. What say hello to everyone. And Nan, pleased to meet you. Nice to meet you.
How do you do?
All right. Nice to see you.
Hi.
Hiya.
With the niceties over, it's down to business.
I'll be totally honest with you, OK? You split the judge's decision, in truth.
Right.
You're the only one that split the judge's decision. You and another girl were brilliant, but we had to judge you against somebody else.
Yeah.
And you split us 2 and 1, and 2 went for one girl, 1 went for another, and the 1 was eventually persuaded to go with the other 2, and I think everyone was delighted with the eventual decision.
Yeah.
But, you know, you were all great, so it was really hard for us to make that decision. But the other judges have sent up this for you, and we hope you like it.
Thank you very much.
It's the keys to the house. Welcome to the band.
Oh my God! Really? Oh my God! Thank you very much. Thank you.
All right.
Thank you.
Congratulations.
Oh my God.
Well done. Oh dear.
Oh God, that is crazy. Because I really thought when you were saying that, then I thought, oh, they've obviously gone with somebody else now. Oh, look at Mum.
I'm on target.
Oh dear. Well done.
No, I didn't.
Thank you. And a dry eye in the house.
I am desperate to be a pop star. Absolutely desperate. I will do anything for it.
Suzanne's determination has paid off. She's had to jump through hoops to get there, but her dedication and talent have shone through.
I might as well just go home now. I should just pack my stuff up. I feel like crying.
She'll be joining Kim. There are only 3 places left in the band. Next, Nigel has to travel to Tony's house in Galway. But there's a problem. Ireland is suffering its worst storms in a decade. After a long wait, his flight is cancelled. All he can do is fly to Dublin, hire a car, and drive right across Ireland, but it's not going to be easy.
Good start.
Paul's now off to see Noel in Cardiff.
The quality of voices in Cardiff was extremely high. And Noel was one of the best. We spotted him straight away. He sang well. He went quickly through to Birmingham and then London. And he's a guy we like very much, very rounded, good personality, good-looking guy. Well, again, a strong voice, which goes without saying at this stage.
Noel's mum, Claire, is preparing him for the worst in case Paul's bringing bad news.
It's not about being on TV, it's about Noel, and it worries me that, you know, you've got to get it from knocks in your life anyway, and I just think that he's pretty good at that, and we've had a few, and he's coped with it all well, so I think this is, in the great scheme of things, when you sit back and look at it, it's not the be-all and end-all. There are bigger losses to have than
that's right.
Than not being on the TV. So I think that he'll do something wonderful anyway.
So much faith. This woman has more faith in me than anyone in the world.
Meanwhile, Nikki is driving across London to see Kelly.
I don't know how I'm going to react. I can't even try and tell you. I just haven't got a clue. If I don't get it, I will have a good cry and I will, you know, like be really upset. But after a year or two, I'll pull myself back together and I'll move on.
Paul's also keen to move on and get the decisions out of the way.
You know, I've said before in the past, throughout the process, I want to get the 5 and get them into the studio and then start working, because it doesn't matter how many ideas I've got and the producers have, until I go into a studio and start singing and trying out tracks and co-writing, we won't know, and it's at last the long wait's over.
And the long wait is about to be over for Kelly as well.
You saw yourself with the auditions, you know, we got down to the final 10 and everybody in that final 10 could be in the final band. That's the problem. We do have to get it down to 5. So I'm afraid I am here to say that you haven't made it to the final 5, Kelly.
Okay.
I thought I'd tell you straight away. It's difficult. We think you are an absolute star and we very much see you as a solo artist. And when we're looking, it is so difficult because there aren't really reasons why someone doesn't make the final band, because if there were, we'd have got rid of them days and days ago.
Okay.
Anything you want to ask me?
No, I don't think so.
Sure. Okay. All right. Well, I'm sure we won't be hearing the last of you. We'll be seeing you. But thank you, and thank you for taking part in it.
No problem.
I hope you've got something else out of it as well. Something positive.
Right.
All right.
Cheers, Nikki.
Okay.
Take care.
All the best, okay? And again, thank you for everything.
Okay.
All right.
Bye.
Okay. She was extremely disappointed, and hopefully she took my comments in the right way and she'll use it, but at the moment, not great. Not great. Really, really hard, and I felt so bad for her.
Kelly hasn't made it, and her boyfriend Horace is left to comfort her. Nigel's still trying to get to Galway.
We're going right the way across Southern Ireland. I've always wanted to do this, but not in weather like this. We're at a toll bridge, haven't got any Irish money because we were flying in and flying out. So hopefully they're going to take £1 sterling. Can I give you £1 sterling?
No, get the Irish, please.
No.
But lack of Irish currency is the least of his problems.
Evidently there's all flooding ahead and very bad winds. I can feel the entire vehicle moving around underneath me. Quite worrying.
Meanwhile, in Cardiff, Paul has arrived with news for Noel, and his mum is wishing him luck one last time.
Take care. Well, he better take care if he tells you no, anyway.
As you know, we're down to the... it's been tough. It has been tough with the guys. You know, it's been tough to try and differentiate. Because of the quality of the voices, as we've discussed before. But you're in. Oh, my God. Well done, mate. Congratulations. I'm in.
Oh my God!
Great.
Oh, the bonus ball just came. The only thing I ever wanted was a bottle of sherry when I was 10. Oh, you clever baby.
Give me your heart and make it real, or else forget about it.
Noel's made it.
Here we go again. 3, go.
His strong, confident voice, sense of humour and calmness under pressure have seen him through.
I want to be a pop star because I'm fed up of being skint.
Noel joins Kim and Suzanne in the band, and there's only 2 more places to fill. Once again, Nikki's journey is just a short hop across London.
We're now travelling to go and see Danny to tell him whether he's made the final band or not. Danny we saw in London. I've actually auditioned Danny before for something different. Really likeable guy. Massive grin the whole time. An amazing voice, very different voice actually, very different indeed. Lost it on the last day for us. Lost all his confidence.
This is like the 10th time of the decision, so I should be used to it. Like 2 from London, like the recalls, 2 from Birmingham, and obviously the workshop week, which is 5, which leads to 9, and now today is like the 10th decision time. So I should be used to it, but I think this one is the most vital one because I didn't think I would even get past the first one. And to be here is like, oh, and it's like my stomach's going over and stuff, because someone's got the decision, and today it's going to be there. So I will feel much better later on when it's all over and I know kind of where I stand.
Back in Ireland, Nigel's about to hit the worst flooding they've had in years.
Not sure what this is. Look at this. Whoa! The flooding you can see here across the road on the motorway. We're just moving into it now. Goodness me. Absolutely ridiculous. I can't say this is not worrying me, because it is.
Hello. On a very wet afternoon. How are you?
Nice to see you.
Nice to see you, Danny. You right?
Danny takes Nikki through to the lounge, while his mum, Tracy, and his aunt and cousin wait anxiously in the kitchen.
And obviously for us, it's, as I said before, it's very difficult to make sure you find the right mix. I believe that Nigel, Paul and I have found that right mix. And I'm pleased to say that you are one of the 5.
Oh, my...
Well done.
I'm not going to cry.
I'm not. You're allowed to, but I'm not.
I
How
can't
do you
cry.
feel?
I just want to say thanks for this opportunity, really.
That's okay.
I don't know what to say. It's hard. I didn't think I could do this. I really didn't. Just got to say thanks.
You did it,
Thank
not
you.
me. Well done. Happy?
Oh, can I go and tell him? I did it.
Well done!
Oh, God.
Well done, darling. Well done.
How mad is that? We're all crying now. I just said now I'm not going to cry. I've done enough of that.
Danny was perhaps the least confident and the most emotional of all the contenders, but the judges thought his voice had exceptional character and power.
If you like flowers, you become a florist. If you want to clean, you clean windows. Do you know what I mean? If you like kids, you become a teacher. So if you like singing and dancing, why not be part of a group and go for it and give it a go?
With Danny, Noel, Kim and Suzanne in the band, the picture is nearly complete. There's one place left. Coming up, the judges have only Mylene, Tony and Jessica left to visit. Who is the missing piece that will complete the band?
It's a tragedy. Crushed by his own friends. Sorry.
If you're saving for your first home and you open a Home Saver account, we'll give you a high rate of interest. And when you take out one of our mortgages, we'll give you one free valuation. And with our cashback mortgage, we'll even give you up to £10,000 back to spend on your new home.
Security, insurance, advice, maintenance, moving, building, everything.
Britannia. In a word, your home for life.
This month, go all Italian at McDonald's with a mozzarella McDouble at just $1.59.
In tomorrow's Sunday Mirror, Madonna finally uncovered. 2 free magazines reveal everything about the raunchiest entertainer on earth. Don't miss your first magazine, only with tomorrow's Sunday Mirror.
When you need more power to your elbow, drive away the Ford car. With power steering as standard. The Ford car. From £6,995, including 1 year's free insurance and a 3-year warranty. Ford demands a closer look.
Hello, girl, you all right? You won't believe.
Every day, thousands of people join BT Talk Together and stop paying for local evening and weekend calls. You can join BT Talk Together for just £14.99 a month. That's only £5 extra on your line rental. Call us now on 0800 05 5555 and your local evening and weekend calls won't cost a penny. That's 0800 05 5555.
Life would be simpler if you could pay for everything monthly. The average person would pay £18 a month for holidays, 3 knicker a month for underwear, and 75p a month on wedding presents. You can do exactly this with your essential bills. Pay a bit every month with direct debit. Do it with a debit, direct debit.
The good thing these days is I get Saturdays off. So the last thing I want to do is spend time driving around looking for houses. Rightmove allows me to search for the right house from home. And with thousands of them nationally, chances are there's one that's right for you.
Do the right thing. Rightmove.co.uk.
27 women never made a man out of me. Everyone that tried it never really could succeed. The 27 women never made a man out of me. I know that you can do it. I hope that you can set me free.
If you'd like Britannia to tell you more, call free on 0800 44 3322.
You want to take him on?
Yes, sir, I want to take him on.
She was scared. Just said she was scared.
I can trust you, can't I?
Wednesday, 9, ITV.
Oi, I thought I said no groupies.
For Tony, auditioning has been a life-changing experience. He's a champion Irish dancer, and until a few months ago, he was the lead in a very successful show.
I was 17, finished my exams, and Michael Flatley came along, and he had his own take on Irish dancing, on Irish culture, and that became the biggest, phenomenon of that year, and a few years after it, for live shows. And I was 17, he said, "Do you want a job?" I said, "Yes, please." And 6 months later, I was dancing on the Oscars. 1.5 billion people watching us live. Myself and 7 other people running out there. We were doing Irish dancing for the world, something we grew up with, and the feeling is just unbelievable.
But he's given up his lucrative job to concentrate on a career in music, and he knows he'll need his family's support.
Because, you can take a knock, and then if you have already committed to giving your life to music, all it is a knock, and then you get back up again, you keep on going. But if you're unsure whether you can give your life to it, well then every knock could be your last one, and that could finish you off. If that happens, I'm prepared for it. If I'm sitting in a pub, sitting on a guitar, strumming, just singing a few songs for a few quid, that's what I'm prepared for.
All Tony can do for now is wait.
When the sun goes down on Galway Bay.
After 9 hours on the road, Nigel's starting to lose the plot.
There are an awful lot of lorries on the roads. Or as Scylla would say, a lorry. I'm trying to brighten myself up there.
He's also starting to dream of reaching his hotel.
We'll be staying in Dublin tonight, so be a few pints of Guinness, that's for sure. Maybe even a little Irish whiskey. I might have a whiskey to make me frisky, a brandy to make me randy. I'll leave the ginger beer alone tonight. If you ever come across the sea to Ireland,
Meanwhile, Nikki has a short taxi journey to meet Mylene at her old college. And Paul also has one last job to do as a judge.
We're going to go see Jessica now. We're off to Preston. And Jessica's got a great personality.
If they say no to me today, then at least I can say, right, well, that's done. Now I can move on and I can try and sort of succeed in other ways.
When you talk to her, you really warm to her. You believe in her. And she can sing.
If they say yeah, then brilliant, I'll pack my bags, I'm ready. But I'm ready for you. Come on, let's have you. I'm ready for you now.
It's now 5 o'clock. Travelling for around 11 hours. And we still haven't seen Tony.
Finally, after 12 hours travelling, Nigel has reached Tony's.
This isn't a house, it's a castle.
Hello.
Good morning.
Good morning.
How are you?
Okay. It's like afternoon now.
Did you get any sleep last night?
A bit.
Did
a bit,
you?
yeah.
Not much?
Not much.
I must admit, I didn't get much sleep last night.
You
Hi
know my
again.
friend Dawn?
Yeah, we met before. Nice to meet you again. So is this my chair then?
I think so,
This
yeah.
is it.
Hello.
How are you,
Good.
okay?
All right, yeah.
Good to see you.
Thanks.
You're right.
Good to see you.
With only one place left in the band, only one of the judges is bringing good news.
Good evening.
Hello, Tony, nice to see you.
This is
Hello,
my mum,
Mrs.
Marie.
London.
And my father.
How do you do?
Very welcome.
Marie?
Marie.
Marie, hi.
Hi.
Sorry
Hi.
I'm so cold.
Oh, God love you. Stand in there.
Yeah.
Stand in.
By the fire.
For Jessica, Tony and Mylene, the moment of truth has arrived.
It's been very difficult to choose between the girls because they are all so strong, and everyone we've asked to go in a 10 has a chance of being in the 5. But we're not going to ask you to be in the 5.
No.
You really have been in the last 10 on pure merit.
To be honest with you, obviously, you know, I would love to be in it, and it's like it's been everything to me for the past 2 months or however long. And you know, we've all been through a lot, but I've always sat there and I've thought, whoever the 5 are, they're the right 5, you know.
Yeah.
And if I'm not in the 5, I'm not in the 5.
And what we really did have to go on was the overall look of the band. And Mylene?
Unfortunately, we do feel as though you need that vocal coach, and consequently, we're not going to ask you to be in the band.
Okay.
You've made it to the final 5.
I didn't want to like have you mopping up my tears or anything. I just
You've been
thought
mopping up
it's
my
going to
tears
be
as
hard.
well.
Bad news. Not sure what the hell. I didn't get in, but... You didn't? No.
But look how far you've got.
Yeah, that's it, exactly.
No.
Yeah.
Don't make me cry. I wasn't going to cry. It's all right. I'm okay. Yeah. It's all right.
She took it really, really well. Tough though, God, tough. I was shaking before I went in there. I'm gonna go to the toilet. I don't now. I did a minute ago. So that was very, very tough. Because she's a great girl, Jessica. Great girl.
You're so welcome.
Mylene, what are you going to sing?
Simply
For? Simply the best. Okay.
Mylene's musicianship, voice and professionalism have got her into the band.
I feel sad. Can I go now?
Mylene is the last piece in the jigsaw, and the band is now complete. It's been a tough couple of days for the judges. They've had to reject 5 of the 10 most talented people they've met from around the whole British Isles.
I'm certainly not going to give up, and I must have something, otherwise they wouldn't have chosen me to be in the final 10. So I'm going to give it my best shot, and fingers crossed, hopefully I'll get something soon.
I know now I have the confidence to go up to someone and just sing, or go in the middle of the street and start singing and trying to dance.
I will move on from this and I will not look back.
That's what I look back and remember, I think, is how difficult it was. But I had a good time at the same time, though. They've picked the right 5, hopefully, and I've got to move on and try and make it in other ways now.
There we go. There they are. Keys to my dream, that is.
Finally, the band has been chosen, and for the 5 band members, it's the beginning of the most incredible journey of their lives. After the break, the band say goodbye to friends and family and move in together to their new home.
5, 6, 7, good. 1, 2, static. Come on, move. 7 and 1.
The new 1.2i Corsa with Easytronic gearbox is better than 2 cars put together. Piffle. Now, to test this, I'll need a small car and a big cheese. Dick here is a big cheese with 2 cars.
Automatic for the city, manual for those weekends upstate. So this is an automatic. But hang on. Now, it's a manual. Automatic, manual, automatic, manual, automatic.
Yes, all right. It's not a toy.
The all-new Corsa.
Automatic.
The biggest small car we've ever built. Guys, switch to Mach 3. It's so close. It's so smooth. You'll love the difference. And so will we. Gillette Mach 3, the best a man can get.
If you could bank a sound, what would it be?
Waves breaking.
If you could bank a priceless moment, what would it be?
Swimming with dolphins.
When I proposed to my girlfriend and we saw a shooting star.
Glastonbury, 97.
If you could bank a taste, what would it be?
Bacon butties.
Garlic. Home-cooked chicken.
All the things I'm not allowed to eat. If you could bank a smell, what would it be?
Freshly cut grass.
If you could bank on one bank, we'd like it to be us. Lloyd's TSB know that little things can mean a lot, and we have a lot of little improvements planned for this year. Lloyd's TSB, your life, your bank.
I know everything.
When the rain will fall.
Where the traffic jams are. What's happening 4,000 miles away. I know where the gigs are.
And what's the latest score?
I'm never alone.
I remember all my friends' birthdays.
I email from the beach.
I make my own world and take it with me at all times.
Orange puts a whole range of services in the palm of your hand. Simply register at orange.co.uk.
The future's bright. The future's orange.
Priceline lets you name your own price for car hire. Unfortunately, in America, some people whose offers were accepted assumed they got less. Priceline would like to avoid such incidents occurring in the UK. Priceline. Just name your own price.
I like to keep my body running like clockwork. That's where Bioactivia from Danone helps. It's a delicious tasting bio yogurt with a unique culture that eaten every day helps me feel good. And when you feel good on the inside, it shows on the outside. Bioactivia.
Danone.
With a 1.2 16-valve engine, CD player alloys and 1 year's free insurance, this all-new Corsa SXI is just $8,995.
How could you do that?
I'm a police officer.
That doesn't give you the right to lie and cheat to get your own way.
I'm sorry. I should have told you the score from the word go.
Yes, you should.
I didn't think you'd agree to it.
The Bill, Tuesday at 8, ITV.
3 minutes less.
On the morning she's due to move in with the rest of the band, Suzanne's beginning to wonder what she's let herself in for.
It's really nerve-wracking, you know, going into this house and, I mean, because I don't even know who I'm actually working with yet. Can you believe that? We're not allowed to say anything to each other, so I've tried to avoid all phone calls. on messages. And the whole thing of me sort of going into this house, I don't even know where it is. I don't know what it'll look like. It's just dead mad, because I've never moved out of home before. I mean, I've always lived with my parents. And I don't know how I'm going to cope.
Reality has also started to set in for Kim and her mum.
I'm going to miss you so much.
I know you are. I'm going to miss you too. Oh, don't. Oh, no.
Oh, I'm going to miss you so much.
I'm going to miss you.
There'll be no noise in the house without you.
And in London, nerves have kicked in for Danny as well.
Yeah, last night I got up about 4 o'clock and I was going to loo. And it just all came to me. I've been trying to be normal about it, like not really think about it, and then all of a sudden it came to me and I was like, and you know, like when your stomach goes over, you get like nerves, and then I was like breathing and I felt like I was going to hyperventilate, like this. And I had to sit down in the front room and have a glass of water. So the nerves are coming there.
For all of the band, this is the last time they'll see friends and family for at least 6 weeks.
Love you. Love you. Love you. Take care of yourself. Love you.
The 5 don't even know who'll be joining them in the band. Their next day off will be Christmas. This is the house the band will be living in for the next 3 months. The idea is that it's large and secluded enough that they can stay undercover until it's time to reveal their identities to the media.
Danny.
The first to arrive is Danny.
Good to see you. Evening. Where are your bags? In the back. Let's get them. You're the first to arrive?
Aye.
Yeah.
But he's soon joined by Mylene.
Oh, congratulations.
And then Noel.
Hey, buddy, all right?
When Suzanne and Kim arrive, the band are finally together in their new home.
Come on, Kimberly, quick. Oh, God, it's gorgeous. Hello. I'm fine, how are you?
Good. Shall we get your bags? Shall we get someone to help you? Can I have some help out here, please? Girls? Girls? I've got some help.
Oh, my God. Yeah, how are you?
Nigel welcomes them with a celebratory drink and a quick tour of the house.
Good health. God bless.
And you.
Many happy times here. This is the living room. Check it out. This is the studio. And the conservatory dining room. The drawing room. That's the little downstairs cloakroom.
Oh, look at the mirrors there. You can watch yourself on the toilet.
Boys' room.
Ensuite, darling.
Oh, good. So any smells, make them in there, please.
Single room. It's huge built-in wardrobes too.
Oh, yeah.
You're gonna build these to share.
Oh, this is gorgeous. Oh, my God. What's in this one, then?
With the tour over, Nigel lays down a few ground rules.
Everyone must sleep in the house on work nights. Everyone will be informed about the nights they can stay elsewhere. There are to be no visitors to the house, apart from crew and professionals invited by the crew. No one must know where this house is. Also, do not give the house phone number out to anybody. Everyone will be issued with a mobile phone, which you've got now, so you can make your own calls in your own privacy, okay? You can give these numbers out to your nearest and dearest, but be careful how widely they're distributed.
Most importantly, Nigel is keen that the identities of the 5 members are not discovered until they are launched as a band.
Phones. If you go shopping, if you go anywhere without us chaperoning you, you can only go 2 or 3 at a time. Do never go out as a 5. If they get a picture of the band, the whole thing's blown.
Right.
Quick. It'll be forever otherwise.
Be lucky.
Be lucky.
Be lucky.
You've been very lucky, all of you. Well done.
Thank you.
Thank you, Nigel.
God bless. See you tomorrow.
Bye.
Nigel leaves and the band are finally alone together. Only time will tell how everything turns out.
Come on then, give us your calls. Get rid of that rough skin. Come on.
Everyone's really happy. You can sense everyone's tired because they've travelled from all over the place. Just over the moon to be here, I think. And finally, now we've kind of all just gone, we've done it. We got down to the final 5. Right, heads is you share with Kim, and tails is she shares with Kim.
Heads.
Tails.
I share with Kim.
Yeah.
I have the room. We only really know what's happening for the next 2 days, and we don't really know what's going to happen for the next, like, 3 or 4 weeks, whatever. So it's a bit scary. Who's moving furniture about in our house? The poltergeist. Don't even start with that one. You're on your own, remember?
Someone's just literally just handed you a house, a mobile phone, a piano room, everything, and just said, okay, this is where you're going to be staying now. It's just, that's not a normal day.
Oh. Am I in a dream? Is this really happening to me? Because it seems so surreal. The whole thing is like crazy. How's that? Is that slightly better? It's beautiful now, Noel. It's beautiful. It's no different, but it's beautiful.
Got all the difference, didn't he?
Oh my God, it looks fabulous.
I've still got a lot of anxiety. I really want to do this, I really want to do this, but I know there's a long way to go.
At 7:30 next Saturday, the band start to look and sound like pop stars.
Whoever it is,
the secret of the band's identity is threatened.
if we find that there is a leak in the band, then that band member has to leave. They're gone.
And there's a confession from Kim.
I suppose I just didn't want it to ruin my chances, really.
Why would you think that?
Because it's happened in the past before, where I've been turned down for things because of it.
So, can you tell me, is there any truth in the allegations that your mime in your life shows?
You can join the band live now for a video web chat on the POPSTARS website, www.itv.co.uk.
Club singer 24-year-old Kim from Wigan.
Oh my God!
Oh! Danny, an East London cleaner, aged 21.
Oh my God!
And 20-year-old Noel, a waiter from Cardiff. After being chosen from thousands, they now start the process of becoming pop stars. This week on POPSTARS, the band hit the studios. Kim confesses.
It's happened in the past before, where I've been turned down for things because of it.
And do the final 5 become the final 4?
If any of them get chucked out, I'm saying if they go, you know, I'm going with them.
It's mid-November, and the group have spent their first night in their new home. Last night, on the flick of a coin, Mylene and Kim got the shared room, leaving Suzanne on her own. This £1 million house has been leased by LWT to hide the band from the press until they're released. It's vital their identities are revealed on the programme if it's to be a success. But for now, there are more mundane problems to deal with.
We have no water. Looks like we're all having a shower.
Why does yours work?
There's a fee for the use of our shower.
Can I use your shower up to Sue down, please?
This look is cold, though.
Please. No,
No, and it's going to stop. It's going to stop.
The band are excited about their first day. But at Polydor Records, Judge Paul Adam has a daunting task ahead of him. He has to record a whole album in just 5 months, if the release is to coincide with the series. Normally, it takes a year to record a pop album, and his first task is to listen to demo CDs of producers who he'd like to work with the band.
There were good songs and there were great songs. I want to find some great songs for the band. And I'm sure in the coming weeks and months I'm not going to be sleeping, like proper. I'm sure I'm going to be panicking. But that's the deal.
Paul is at the top of a massive team that will support the band. To become POPSTARS, the band will have to work with top producers, stylists, choreographers, photographers, fitness experts, and publicity specialists. The only person who isn't on board is the band's manager. They were hoping former judge Nikki Chapman would represent them, but she joins Nigel to deliver some bad news.
Fortunately, Nikki cannot be considered. Because Nikki
is changing jobs. Come January, February, when it takes off, you are going to need someone 24/7. So what I would say is, I'm sorry, I would have loved to have done it, but just the timing, this job is so big for me, and I really wish you all the best, and also to look for a great manager, and to take your time looking for a great manager, because there's some super people out there.
Shall we raise our glasses to Nikki? And Nigel. Nikki and Nigel.
The lucky 5 toast their deal. But the 5 that didn't make the group are still contracted as standbys in case someone leaves the band.
business. The deal with Polydor is basically 1 single and 1 album. More importantly now, because of the deal, you are going to have to take a solicitor to represent you.
There's no rush for the band to get a manager immediately, as this period only consists of recording. Until they find a manager, an independent solicitor will look after their interests.
But you need some representation in that to ensure that the deal is right for you.
Polydor want the band's voices assessed. They're sent to vocal coach Mary Hammond, who'll secretly work with them to build and improve their voices. Her techniques are unusual, to say the least.
Basically, we're having these lessons to find out what actual muscles and what actually we're using when we're singing. For instance, like your tongue, your diaphragm and all that. And even though the exercise might look a bit silly to some people, they're actually really good because they make you aware of the muscles that you are using, and you can actually feel them working.
Up you come. OK, where do you feel movement?
It's just learning about our instrument. It's learning how to tune it, how to make it sound right.
Yeah, we've always had the instrument, and now we just need to learn how to play it properly.
The singing profession isn't just the voice, it's the personality, it's the willingness to express themselves. I found them articulate, and I think they'll work hard, and I think that's part of a prerequisite for people that are going to be successful in our industry.
So you don't want cameras in your studio. Why is that?
After picking his tracks, Paul's contacting producers he wants the band to work with. But the presence of TV cameras is causing problems.
The band are great. You know, I'd love you to get involved, but obviously, if you're concerned about cameras being there, there's nothing I can do about that. Some producers don't want to work when there's cameras about, and that's been tough because there'll be producer A that'll say, look, please get involved in the project, and they'll say, I'd love to, but sorry, I don't want a camera in my face. So that really is a pain because, you know, and obviously I'm sure I'll convince them, but at the moment it's tough because there are people that don't want to get involved in the project I want in the project, really.
It's early evening, and while Paul's trying to get work flowing, the house is still dry, and the band have called a plumber.
The thing is this, right? We're supposed to be going for photo shoot tomorrow. And the chances are we're not going to be able to have a shower, wash our hair, even wash our faces.
Sorry, yeah.
I need to answer this one. Let's go knock on next door.
Excuse me,
Hello?
can we have 25 buckets? Preferably warm.
Yeah, with a bit of luck, you got hot water, and another 10 minutes, you should have cold water.
Yeah, but you all smell.
After 2 days together, the band are starting to bond.
Noel's the comic of the band, you know, he's the one who cracks the jokes, does the impressions, and he's very humorous.
Kim's the really gobby one.
Yes!
Suzanne's quieter than I thought she was going to be.
I still feel I'm the quiet one, I know that for a fact, but at the end of the day, it's not like that's a negative thing at all.
And he always says I'm the shy one, and I'm like, no, you're not.
I know it sounds corny as hell, and people probably never believe it. You do have to be here to see it, but it literally is, there's just laughter and like noise every second. Actually, you can believe that, we've got Kim and Noel.
The next morning, the band go to a photography studio in North London for a top-secret session.
Here we go, good.
If these photographs were to be published before the band are revealed, their launch would be ruined. Everyone involved is under contract not to discuss this project.
Well, these pictures are going to be used to make model dolls. So that's why we're spinning them around in a clock direction, so you get different angles so you can see all their faces.
A staggering 50,000 dolls will be moulded in just 5 months, time to coincide with the launch of the band in spring. Singles sell less now than they used to, so money from merchandising is vital to any band.
The dolls are important because that's going to hopefully make them quite a bit of money. Nowadays with records, they don't actually make you that much money.
But the band are finding the concept of dolls a bit daunting.
What is the need on a doll? I'm sorry. A Noel doll. I think more people are going to buy it to jab pins into than anything else.
I can't even look at myself on telly, so seeing the doll is just going to be like, oh.
I couldn't imagine young children having a doll of me. It's like, why do you want one of me?
That's what my mates will all get next Christmas if we're successful. Hi guys, having a really lovely time. Here's an old doll, so you remember what I looked like.
Yeah, I know.
Over at his office, Paul has got some good news.
Okay, Al, nice one, mate, and I'll talk to you soon. Cheers, bye. That's a big weight off my mind. Elliot Kennedy and Steelworks are world-class writer-producers. The band are going to go up there to cut some tracks with them. So thank God, at last, you know, we're in play, that they've written hits for so many people, so that's good news. And hopefully I can sleep a bit more at night. Probably not, but maybe. Don't know, shattered.
In the studio, without a care in the world, the band are getting used to life in front of a lens.
Suzanne is fantastic in front of the camera. Went off into about 100 different poses. Same with Mylene, she's got a really, really nice look. Kim needs to just relax a little bit. The two boys, they're a little bit stiff, but the more they go in front of the cameras, the more they'll disappear, that'll disappear, and they'll become good as well. So I think overall, a little bit of work, they're going to be a really good band.
It's Sunday evening and the band are getting ready for a big night out.
We're making an audience with Ricky Martin, and if nothing else, he's a great performer. So I've invited the band to come along and see him. Not only will they enjoy themselves, but hopefully they'll learn something too.
To avoid attention, the band have been told to pretend they've won a competition to see the concert.
I've got to be lying to celebrities, but it's going to be quite difficult, really, because you're going to be kind of in awe that you see celebrities anyway, and you're going to be gobsmacked, but then you've got to lie and you've got to think up things, so that's going to be really weird.
It's their first night out as a five, and Suzanne is worried whether she'll live up to expectations.
I know I'm not ugly, but at the same time, you know, there's so many beautiful women around in the entertainment business, and they're going to be there today. I feel fat.
She bangs, ooh, ooh, baby, she moves. I go crazy.
An hour later, they're at the concert, and although unknown to the celebrities now, in a matter of weeks, they could be stars themselves.
Wasted by the way she moves. No one ever looks so fine. She reminds me that a woman got one thing on her mind.
Coming up, the band get intimate. Suzanne's having doubts.
Why am I actually here? Why have I been chosen?
And Kim comes clean.
I suppose I just didn't want it to ruin my chances, really.
How does Prince Charles keep so fit and healthy? In tomorrow's Mail on Sunday, total health therapist Dr. Musarraf Ali reveals how he helps Prince Charles and celebrities like Selena Scott and Richard Branson. Find out how he could help you keep fit like them with our Super Health Part Work, starting tomorrow in New Magazine only with the Mail on Sunday.
走啊！
我唔會嚟。喂，點啊最近？點啊？你等等下。呢做嗰個叫咩名啊？峰峰啊，係峰峰。喂，得閒啊？好啊。拜拜。
誒，你塊面有笪嘢啊！
A lovely steak. Is there anything quite so simple?
I've just moved banks. Why? Because I want a bank that knows how to connect all my money together. To make it work harder without me having to ask. Someone to come up with clever new ideas. Like overnight sweeping between my current and savings account. So I don't go overdrawn. And I wake up better off every morning. I'm closing my account.
Thank you, Mr. People are starting to change the way they bank. Open plan. Open-minded banking from the Woolwich.
You're either with us or without.
Right to prices, right to shopping. New catalogue out now.
On your own tonight, darling.
I think I'll play.
You had £125,000. You've just lost 93,000. Malcolm Knight is currently on £32,000. He has no lifelines left, but he's only 5 questions away from becoming a millionaire. Dial this number now and it could be you.
It's rock and roll, boys. Get used to it.
It's week 2 and the band are in Sheffield. This will be their first ever studio session. Noel's up before the others, eager to get started.
Morning.
Right, you can get lost.
Morning, Kim.
Point that thing in the face in the morning.
Come on, get up now.
I'm tired!
Come on.
Paul has got no time to be tired. He's on the road meeting more producers. He has to set up at least one more major session and other smaller ones by Christmas if he's to have any chance of completing the album.
So I thought it'd be nice to come in, touch base, tell you about the band a bit more, tell you about the programme a bit more, and go from there. Cool.
Back in Sheffield, the band are about to meet Elliot Kennedy, one of the country's top producers, who's made hit singles for the likes of S Club 7. 5. And Billy Piper.
We always opt for being the first in on a project to help play a part in development, just because it's more exciting. You know, you get that raw energy, and the ability to kind of capture that raw energy and get it in your track is fantastic. It's like bottling sunshine sometimes.
Elliot has to teach them the song line by line before they record the track.
Great. This plays to all your strengths, this.
For the first time, when you come back out and listen to yourself, it's mind-blowing. For the first time, we've heard what the judges hear when they picked us, and it's really funny.
My preconceived ideas were that the female vocalists in this band were going to be kind of taking the reins. We had a great surprise in Dan, because he's a fantastic singer.
Looking for the reason, all the right, no, that's right.
Here he is 2 weeks ago packing his cleaning job in, you know, really knowing whether he could cut it in a studio or something. It was just remarkable. He's one of the best singers we've had come through here, to be honest.
In a minute, I think I'm going to wake up at any second. Just a little pinch and I'll just wake up in my own bed at home and all that, and I'll be going to my little cleaning job at night. But this is reality. I mean, this is my job now, and it's what I've always dreamed of.
Both Kim and Mylene have worked in studios before, but it's Suzanne's first time and she's not feeling confident.
I don't know whether I'm going to get the songs right, am I going to get my harmonies right, are they going to think I'm not very good, you know, working, and what are they going to think of my voice, and all these sort of things have been running through my head.
A little bit of an attitude to it, do you know what I mean? Sing that for me. 2, 3, 4, 1.
You're not the first and you won't be the last time.
Normally you could spend a week or two in the studio cutting a track. In this situation, there was no time for that. Someone's a day to record a track. There's no time for first-time nerves. Very tough, but they've got to nail it straight away.
The band have all been given mobile phones so they can phone home at any time.
Hello, then.
Hello, Dan.
But they're also under strict instructions not to hand out their number or addresses to anyone. Everything they do must remain secret.
Bye-bye. Bye-bye.
Just work it out, stop looking down.
But when they're not talking, they're working. And by the end of the day, the band have finished their first track and are one step nearer to completing their album.
You're gonna see how it can be.
The nerves are easing off now. We're all kind of settling into it. Not just the singing, but the friendships and everything.
All right, we live together, but we haven't actually worked together as a band yet. So, you know, this was the big test, and it's been great, you know. There's been no arguments, there's been no, you know, sort of spitefulness or anything like that, or competition, because we all know that we have a part to play, and that's what it's about.
But there's one person who is not so confident about their part in the group. Suzanne has had a sore throat since her first audition in Manchester, and it doesn't seem to be getting better.
And today I felt like I was the one who was struggling a bit. And I don't know, I want to be as strong as the band. I don't want to be the weakest link, so to speak. And I felt, oh God, you know, why am I actually here? Why have I been chosen?
I almost felt sorry for her, really, because I know what it's like, you know, like your first few times in the studio, and you feel like you have to keep saying sorry if you're messing up and that. And then the more you say sorry and the more you mess up, the more nervous you become and the more frustrated you get, and you're just not going to remember your line.
But there are bigger concerns on Noel's mind.
I don't know how the five of us are going to... Yeah, we're getting on really well now, don't get me wrong, and it's fantastic, and we're having a really good time, but at the same time, we're going to be launched from normal, everyday people to pop stars in such a short amount of time, you know, and that really, really worries me. The fact that not even a month ago, I was still working as a waiter, and then suddenly I'm going to be on top of the pops, and my job is going to be getting up in the morning to do SMTV and this morning and stuff, you know, and it's really, really scary.
Paul's also awake late.
Hi, it's Paul Adam. It's about 9:30 now. Give me a shout out. I just need to touch base with you about that idea for the POPSTARS song. If not, talk to me. Give me a shout in the morning.
It's proving difficult to find producers and tracks for the album.
But try and condense a year's work into about 8 weeks. I'm sitting thinking of some songs I've found. Got some good single ideas. I'm just going to be chasing up more writers and producers in the next few hours before I get chucked out of the building.
When the band returned to London, Nigel summons a worried Kim to his LWT office.
I'm shaking like a leaf.
I've had a phone call from a solicitor, and he's informed me of some news regarding Kim that has absolutely devastated me, and I want to get to the bottom of it. You know why I've asked you to come up? All I can say is how disappointed I am, in truth. That, number one, I get to hear it from your solicitor, okay? When all of the times we've said to you, is there anything there? Is there anything else you need to tell us about? Because the press are going to find out if there's any little skeletons in your cupboard or anything like that. And that you thought that because you had 2 children, that would affect you getting into the band or not.
I suppose I just didn't want it to ruin my chances, really.
Why would you think that?
Because it's happened in the past before, where I've been turned down for things because of it. I was with their dad for 5 years, and we split. I was raising my daughter. I've got a son and a daughter.
What are their names?
David and Emily. My son's nearly 6, and my daughter's 3. I moved out from him when she was about 2 months old.
Your life doesn't end the moment you have children.
I know, but some people do think that way.
It begins.
Some people do think that way.
Well, there are a lot of pop mothers out there and a lot of single parent mothers with kids that have got to work.
I know.
Now, what we've got to take into account is how you get to see them more often. Who's looking after them, number one?
My parents.
Are they happy to do that?
Yeah, very, very. My kids love my mum and dad, and they used to spend time over there. Their father sees them 3 times a week.
But it certainly wouldn't have ruined your chance in the band.
I'm just so relieved to hear you say that, to be honest. It's been playing on my mind ever since. I've been wanting to tell you, and I've thought, God, what do I do?
I think it's great.
Cool. That's good. Thank you. Thank you so much.
All right.
This was such a big, big secret for me, and I've hated every minute of it. You know, I felt sick sometimes because I know I'm carrying around this huge weight. And now I just feel about 6 stone lighter because it's just gone. And I'm so happy that he's taking it so well. Good, good.
Kim phones her dad to let him know the secret's out.
Obviously, I couldn't have kept it a secret forever, you know, and there's been hundreds of times I've wanted to do it, but it's just, I couldn't seem to find the right words.
If anything, I'm rather glad the situation has come to light now, because if there are any employers out there that would dream of not employing somebody because they had children, I hope they'll rethink.
I'm going to shoot off, so give my love to my mum and give the kids a big hug and kiss for me and tell them Mummy loves them. Love you. Bye. Bye.
Paul has also got a weight off his mind.
Well, great news. Just got Stargate to work with the band, who are based in Trondheim in Norway. And again, they're great writer-producers. There are many hit records over the last few years. They're very excited to meet the band and work with the band. And great, I'm going to get a little bit more sleep now for a while. Good start, very good start, very good start.
Coming up, the House of Horrors.
What is that? A body.
An emotional reunion. And do they have a future?
Whoever it is seriously jeopardising the other 4. They're gone.
If one of us goes, then we all go together.
3 minutes less.
Good morning, children.
Good morning, Miss.
Full moon.
Full moon.
Half moon.
Half moon.
Total eclipse.
Total eclipse.
Good. Now, let's do it one more time. Full moon.
A McVitie Jaffa cake, deliciously self-centered.
One day, the Milky Bar Kid said it was time for a spring clean.
Hungry plant? How would you save your Milky Bar?
Do you know what time it is?
Is it by the Stones?
What? Right, where are your parents?
You're messing with my mojo, Mr. Clunes.
Mojo?
Realign your mojo with Nescafe Original, Britain's best loved coffee.
I always wanted to be in a band.
I love the 80s. 42 of the biggest 80s tunes from the hit TV series. The music of the decade. All your favorite 80s hits. All your favorite 80s stars. I love the 80s. Out now on double CD.
Cardor Spagnola. Real cherry pieces in swirls of vanilla ice cream and cherry sauce. Cardor, made for sharing.
The Sunday Express is bigger, brighter and better with the new Enjoy Showbiz and Leisure section and bigger finance section. 40 pages of brilliant sport. More pages in the fabulous new glossy magazine, packed with fashion, beauty and health. And of course my own interior design column, plus a voucher for a free rose for your Valentine.
The Sunday Express, the complete Sunday package.
Over 300,000 is missing from the trust.
Who's nicked £250,000?
Say it. She wouldn't, would she?
At Home with the Braithwaites, Thursday at 9, ITV.
Jazzberry! Nah, man, there's too much hiss on that one.
Wake up! After Kim's revelation, the band focus on the job at hand and have flown to Trondheim in Norway to work with some more music producers.
You just go outside of the door and you take a ride, and 50 meters we have a brown van. Just wait and sit inside there.
Are you taking a mick again?
As night falls, the group arrive at their hotel, but it's not what they expected. It's the oldest and creepiest building in Trondheim.
What is that?
Oh, it's so haunted, this place. I'm not staying in this room on my own tonight. No way. You know, you're not leaving us here.
Where's the nearest Holiday Inn?
The next morning, the band start work in the studio. They'll be recording 5 tracks with Stargate, a group of experienced producers who have worked with a wide range of artists, from Cisco to Stephen Gately.
This band are new to this business. They're going to have to learn to adapt. Each producer works a different way. So it's another mountain they've got to climb. They're going to have to climb it quickly.
Also open the kind.
But the producers have a very particular way of working and demand perfection.
Well, they did it again. It's tough, very tough. You know, every little note that's out, you have to do again. But it makes you work.
But it's not just Kim who's having problems.
I've been pulling my hair out in there.
Almost.
Almost.
Yeah.
There's one line Danny can't get.
No, after it. Never end. So as soon as I've gone never end, you go never end. No, no.
Never ends, join hands.
I can't hit that note.
Never ends, join
Suzanne's up next. 2 weeks on from Sheffield, she still has a sore throat and she's feeling the pressure.
Can I try again?
But the producers think that missing the odd note is not that big a deal.
It's something that happens to everybody. I'm sure it happens to Mariah Carey. I'm sure it happens to the greatest of artists. And it doesn't matter what doesn't make the record. What matters is that you finally hit it.
I was trying to hit that high note, but I couldn't find one that fitted.
What high note?
And if they hit every note, then they would be playing it too safe. You know, they should push their limitations and see how far their voice can reach, and then they'll learn from it.
Noel has put in a confident performance at every stage of the audition process, and here in Norway, there's no exception. With recording going well, Nigel phones from London. A tabloid journalist has rung the press office claiming to know details of the band.
And they know our home addresses. They know our actual family's addresses.
Nigel fears there's a leak and it could be coming from the band.
I think what they've got to do now is just be a little more careful with who they're speaking to. They're so excited about being in the band, they want to tell everybody. They can't do that now.
Well, the only people on my half who know, I've told three friends, my boyfriend, my mum, my dad, my brother and my nan.
And it's really quite scary to think that we might come back from Norway and it might be kicking off and we might have to run around like this everywhere, you know?
Back from Norway, the band take cover from the paparazzi. LWT press officer Ian Johnson calls round to tell the band what they should do if they're ambushed by the press.
Don't overreact, you know, don't kind of go, no, I can't say anything, I'm sworn to secrecy. There are official things you can do. If you just say, no, excuse me, get off my doorstep, they do have to get off your doorstep. You know, they do, the Press Complaints Commission, there are set things to do, they cannot harass you. But I don't want to be too negative, because this is all really exciting.
We're all here.
We're all going like that until tea.
The next morning, there's a bit of light relief for the band when the prototype heads of their dolls arrive at the house.
Great, why? Let me look.
Bad night.
Maybe it'll be a bit different with some colour in its skin. It needs to go on the beach.
That is you! Oh my God!
Sometimes, you know, if you look at photos of yourself, you go, oh, you don't like, and there's a head, that's a head of me.
Because of the leak, the band can't now go out in public together. Suzanne uses a rare day off to visit the doctor. Although her throat feels better, she wants to get to the bottom of the problem. In Wigan, Kim's using a day off for a more personal journey to visit her children, David and Emily. While she's away, Kim's children are being looked after by her parents, Pauline and Dave, and they support her decision wholeheartedly.
To me, a man can go and work away, work abroad for years to provide for his children, doesn't see them, doesn't see his wife for years. Surely it's the same thing. Kim will still see her children. She phones them every day, so...
And what a wonderful future the children will have now.
This is it.
You know, hopefully.
This is it. Because, I mean, at one time she was only doing it for Kim. Kim was doing it for Kim. It was her dream. Now, Kim does it for her and the children. She loves those children to bits, and that's what she's doing it for now.
Oh, they're lovely.
Oh, who drew that?
Me.
Well done.
Emily seems to have inherited her mother's singing ability.
Reach for stars, climb a few mountains high and reach for stars.
Suzanne's voice is also under scrutiny, but it's good news.
Fantastic. This is the right vocal fold, this is the left vocal fold.
Okay.
Your vocal folds are actually vibrating here 360 times a second.
It's not very attractive, I've got to say.
And there's nothing bad on these vocal folds. You don't have a nodule, you don't have hemorrhage, no polyps, nothing of that sort. The one thing I can tell you is that your larynx looks rather dry to me.
Yeah. Obviously, I've had problems with my throat since joining the band. I've had this cough and a bit of a cold, and coming to see everything is fine now has made me feel at ease.
I'll come back soon, see you later.
But one person not at ease is Kim. It's time for her to head back to London.
They'll tell you, don't they, Dave?
Guts me. This is the hardest thing I've ever had to do, you know, ever.
With the band back in London, Nigel's called an emergency meeting. The tabloid journalist has been back in touch with more information. He appears to know everything about the band, except where they live.
He knows who you are. He knows your hometowns. He knows that you go to a voice coach. They know that you've joined a gym. It can only be coming from, as far as I can see, 3 areas.
Okay.
Okay? Me.
Okay.
Right? You or Polydor. There's no other area. So we've got to just stop and cut off areas. I'm going in to see Polydor. I'm going to lay this on the line to Polydor. If I find there's a leak in our team, they will be sacked instantly. But if it's a one member in this band that's releasing information, then they have to go, because whoever it is seriously jeopardizing the other 4. They're gone.
I don't want a new person coming in. We've got something really strong. We hear our records. We're so good together on that. We see pictures of ourselves. We're so good. I don't want anything different now.
Obviously, there was 10 people, and there's another 5 there. If anything goes wrong or anything should happen, then that will be the band. The other 5 will be the band, because they won't have this 5 no more.
Determined not to let the press get that crucial photo of all 5 of them, they arrive at the studio in 2s and 3s. They have one last track to record before Christmas, but Paul's saving his celebrations for when the album is finished.
I've never had to make an album so quickly, in such a short space of time. What the band have achieved so far is excellent, but still a long way to go.
You've been saying I'm driving you crazy, and I haven't been around for you lately.
They've been together for over 5 weeks now, and they reflect on their time as a group.
These last 5 weeks I've been living out the dream. We've got tracks that are coming together, we're hearing our voices, we're all getting on well. It's been mad, it's been really mad, but it's been really good.
It is hard work. I can't deny the fact that it is hard work, and I know the next few weeks again are going to be hard work, but there has not once been a grumble about the work, not once, because it's a dream job. You know, it may not be everybody's dream job, but it's mine.
I'm looking forward to the future in a big way, because obviously it could change my life completely, you know. I don't know whether I'll get a strange sensation if somebody looks at me in the street and goes, "Oh, are you Suzanne from that band?" And I'd be like, yeah, I am. Hiya, you're right.
It's not just the contestants who need nerves of steel. Who wants to be a millionaire next?
Nice one, guys. That's another one done, isn't it?
I'm not group hugging!
I'm still horrid.
Another one, that's just...